The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And with us each week, as he does, we have former Congressman Peter King. Congressman, I hope you're well, your wife is well, and your family is well. How's everything going?
Actually, I'm doing fine. I hope you're doing well. And right now, I'm out here in Seaford, and Rosemary said on the phone, they said there's a tornado warning. So, tornado watch. If I get blown away during the show, don't get mad,
boy.
Dominic.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. These are serious matters, Congressman. So you just found out about this a few seconds ago listening on the radio?
Yeah, just now. In fact, before they were saying it was in Jersey and up in Ulster and places like that, and now she just showed on the phone that tornado watch until 9 o'clock, which seems like a long time. But in any event, I'm sure I'll survive. And as long as I'm talking to you, all is good.
I feel the same way, Congressman. All is good when I hear your soothing voice. I want to ask you, there are a lot of things to get to.
Yeah.
We'll get to Iran and President Trump in just a second. But Mamdani and his threat as it relates to Netanyahu, you and I both know there's not a darn thing he can do to Netanyahu, that this was just red meat. But I find it, for the base, I find it despicable that this clown would even jump out there with a comment like that. What do you make of it?
Yeah, and I disagree. He's not really a clown. He knows what he's doing. He's really more of a evil genius. He's a guy who came from nowhere to get elected on a democratic socialist program, which people in New York wouldn't have even thought of a few years ago, would have thought possible a few years ago. Now with Netanyahu, he's willing to, in fact, he's almost intending to really juice up his anti-Semitic base, the anti-Jewish base, that radical progressive base. And if it involves, Jewish people, they've had a rough time. They can probably handle themselves. They give them tremendous credit. And what really, the real threat here, obviously it's the Jews. And if I were Jewish, I'd be very concerned. But it's even more so, this is an attack on the country, because it'll be the Jews first, it'll be God knows who next, and one after the other. And you're just going after institutions. So I would say that, and I'm not a mind reader here, but he's anti-Semitic, or he favors that base for a number of reasons. But one of them is not religion. It's not even philosophy. It's that in many ways they symbolize what's become the American dream. People who have been persecuted all over the world, they come to the United States, especially New York, and they do well because they work hard. They were given the opportunity. So in many ways, the Jewish community represents the American dream. And then each group after that is also in line with that. So he's really trying to undo the institutions that make America and New York as great as they are. And that to me is, so I think there's a method in all his madness.
So he became a citizen, 8 years ago, even though he was schooled here and so on, Bronx High School of Science. Let me try this a different way, Congressman King.
Sure.
Why is America so embracing of people when we get people like this that clearly show that he could care less about America's interest?
I think partly because we were naive. We were relying that the immigrants today would be the same as the previous immigrants that came here. When they came to the United States, they made a commitment, not just in writing and not just when they raised their right hand, but they made it intellectually, made it morally, that they were Americans, that they wanted to be part of America. They wanted to be part of the American dream. If the quote-unquote old country was so great, they would have stayed there. They're here because they know the opportunities that America has. So it was just assumed that for the most part, each wave of immigrants has been that way. Now we find this new wave coming in, unfortunately, that for the minute they get here, they want to undo the society they found. Some want to undo it violently. The others just want to do it politically or economically. And it's ironic that many of these people actually have money of their own, but they somehow still want to tear the system down. And to me, this would be unheard of. This would be like you or I moving to France or to Italy or any country, Scotland, and just going over there and trying to, from the day we arrive, trying to change what that system is all about, the system they've had for centuries, the one that's gone on for generations, coming in from the outside, trying to change things. And that's what Mamdani and this whole crowd around them, that's what they want to do. They really despise America for what it is. And then you say, why'd you come here for? If you came here and you took the oath, you should abide by it. So I think our government has to be much more careful now and look into what people's beliefs are when they come here. If a person comes and they have a record of being involved at all with radical Islam, I don't think they should be allowed into the country. Certainly not allowed to get any kind of citizenship or permanent status. So that's, again, that really in many ways goes against what our traditions were, because we did have open arms. We welcomed people in here, and in most cases, almost all cases, they did the right thing. In fact, a lot of times, if trouble came, it was from future generations, not the immigrant generation itself. They're the ones who are really, really more dedicated Americans than the average native-born American is. But we're not seeing that anymore. Certainly not to the extent that we used to.
So, Congressman King, just to back to Mamdani for a second here, and then we'll get to Iran, and then we'll wrap this up. But, Mamdani talking about Netanyahu, and here it is, you have a violent parolee arrested after allegedly tossing an elderly 70-year-old woman onto the New York City subway tracks. Now, right, I know that our legal system can't operate this way, what I'm about to say, and I know I'm going to upset some by saying this, but I'm looking at this guy's mugshot, right? African American, he's got a look. I would try and find a way to keep this guy locked up simply based on his mugshot alone. He's got the new braids that they wear in the hair where it looks like the hair is matted down. This guy looks like America's worst criminal. And this guy is out on parole, and he's accused of pushing an elderly woman onto subway tracks in Manhattan. Mamdani doesn't talk about this. Why does this keep happening over and over? How many elderly women, elderly people have to die on the subway tracks until Mamdani and others will take this seriously?
You know, the world turned upside down when George Floyd, really a career criminal, was killed. And that turned the world upside down. These other cases we have, and I can't imagine a worse death than being pushed in front of a subway train, especially if you've lived your life, you've been a good citizen, and this is how you meet your demise. And the people who do it, it just seems that we have too many judges who somehow feel they're committed to this noble cause of seeing the goodness in human beings, and they feel good about themselves, not knowing that goodness they think they see is actually going to end up in innocent people being killed. Listen, if you make a mistake and you let one gangster out and he kills another gangster, okay, to me, no harm done. But if
right, gangster killing gangster.
But if you're talking about a vicious criminal, a psychopath, going out and killing and torturing innocent people, throwing them to such a violent death, I mean, what could possibly be in anyone's mind to throw someone in front of your train, especially an elderly person? So, to me, you said before that just by taking a look at the guy, you'd be suspicious. Judges are supposed to have that sixth sense. Cops are supposed to have it, and when they use it now, that can't be used, though. They can't use that in court. When a cop says he sees someone, he sees suspicion, he sees that reason to be concerned, that's not good enough. But if you're a judge, and a guy is before you, and you decide on what bail to set, you're going to let, first of all, there was enough evidence to have him arrested. And now you look at him, and to me, if so many judges not able to detect what's there, then they don't belong on the bench.
And again, Congressman, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but looking at this guy's mugshot. So one, I do ask the question. It's a rhetorical question. I'm not putting it to you, Congressman. Why 9 times out of 10 the suspect has to be black? Why is that, America? You tell me, oh, Dominic is racist for you to say that. No, it's not. I'm giving you facts. If I were the mayor and this guy's mugshot came in front of me, I would look at my chief of staff, who would then look at my correction commissioner, and they would say, you better find a reason to keep this guy locked up. Just looking at his mugshot alone. The one that's accused with this elderly woman. And thank God she's okay for now. But what about her health issues in the future? What about her mental, the fear of being pushed onto subway tracks?
Absolutely.
And I'll say, go ahead, Congressman. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and whether she is now dead or alive, and whether or not, even though he was not able to kill her, the fact is that shouldn't matter from his perspective. The fact that he put her in that situation where she could have died such a horrible death, to me, that's enough. As far as I'm concerned, psychologically, he is as guilty as a person who would have killed someone, and the judge, they should never let that guy out on the street. If after a full trial and after all the testimony, if somehow a jury acquits him, that's a bad deal. But a judge who has that singular power to hold him until the trial, they should never let them out on bail.
And again, I don't expect for you to respond to this, Congressman, as we're about to get to Iran. I want you to listen to what President Trump said. But as far as I'm concerned, right, he's mentally ill. He's mentally ill. Well, okay, he's mentally ill. He just pushed a 70-year-old woman, and let's say we have video evidence to prove that he did it. I'm going to look the other way. Hit him in his testicles while he's handcuffed at least 8 or 9 times. That'll tell me if he's mentally ill, because he's not mentally ill. These 9 times out of 10, these are racial attacks, loser African Americans where their lives didn't amount to anything, and they want to torture white people. I said it. It is what it is. That's what's going on. Let's stop playing these games. President Trump, Congressman King, on the situation in Iran.
And we will absolutely attack the new site that they're talking about. I mean, how about these people? They're in this because of nuclear weapons, and they're trying to possibly reconstitute a site. We'll hit that site. Any site where they're even thinking about nuclear, we'll be hitting it very, very powerfully. Now, nobody knows, except the Iranians, the damage that we've done to them. We have done damage that will take them 20, 25 years to recover from. So if we left tomorrow, we had a big success. But we're not leaving tomorrow.
So, Congressman King, a number of people, including callers online, Jerry in Passaic, New Jersey, they're saying finish the war. Is it that simplistic? Is it that easy? I mean, if it were that easy, Democrat presidents would have solved this problem.
It's not that easy to do. I think it's an easy decision to make, but then to carry out is going to be tough, but it can be done. And I think what we have to do is somehow the president has got to show the American people why this is important. It's the only real risk to us. Now, God, listen, pray for those poor soldiers who were killed, some more that may be killed. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible, but it is a reality of war. But the American people, and they have to be willing, I think, to make a sacrifice of gas prices go up for a few months. But in the end, Iran does not have nuclear weapons. If in the end the mullahs are out of power in Iran, then that is going to, you can't put a dollar value on that, what that's going to mean to Americans for the next 20 or 30 years. I think what the president has to do, there's so many people, I think, even in his own administration, I think people like J.D. Vance and others, they really never had their heart and soul in this in the beginning, and they talk about these temporary ceasefires and truces. All that does is give Iran time to rebuild, to reconstitute themselves. We should go after every possible facility that could be used, for instance, with the state of Hormuz. Any possible facility where drones are being manufactured, any type of alert system they have should be attacked. And God, of course, any place where ballistic missiles are being produced, that should be attacked. At any place that we think there's even a remote chance that they're going to reconstitute or constitute as a nuclear facility, that has to go. The benefit of the doubt is like the judge on the bench. The benefit of the doubt goes to the United States here. Is a bad, evil, vicious government, and it's bad enough what they do with their own people. We can't allow them to terrorize the world, which is what they would do. And then you have all the people sitting around saying, oh, why didn't they do something? Why didn't Trump finish off the job? I think that's what he intends to do now, and I will stand behind him all the way on it.
Fair enough. Hey, Congressman, I got to toss to a break. Have you ever had to fast an entire day for a procedure with no food? That's where I am today, and it's driving me insane. Have you ever had to do it?
Yeah, I have, and it does drive you insane. At the end of the day, if it all works out, and I'm sure you as will, I guess it's worth it. But I'm like you. Along the way, I'm cursing and carrying on and saying, how come I have to go through this? And, but but then guys like Sid will say he does it every Yom Kippur, so I don't know,
Right. I don't know either. But thank you, Congressman King. And yes, I'm cursing and screaming the entire way.